What's up, Ronomics fans? Today we're going to be reviewing Agility Robotics Digit. And this one has sort of a weird look to it, where it's not sort of the atypical look we see all these other ones have. The way it's sort of formed like the way people sort of formulated it is that rather than just having a straight leg, just like a normal person would, they sort of have like an arched leg, kind of like a peacock or something. And I guess that could be useful if it's, say, like a warehouse, but that's kind of off to me. Let's look. Oh yeah, so you'll see from the front, right? My own website is not letting me use it. Finally. So yeah, you'll see from the front that Digit, and they have a good name, Digit looks very normal from the front. But once you face it to the side, you'll notice what is going on with its legs, right? That's really the first thing that really, I don't know if I like that. Because it could be useful if it's like able to crouch down and reach up high, but it's so unorthodox. It looks in a way that would frighten me if it was anywhere near me. And that's a problem for me, because I'm not going to want to be anywhere near something like this that frightens me. It looks like an ostrich or a peacock or whatever you call it. And you can see it bending down perfectly fine. So, I mean, if you need it to do its job, it'll do it. But it really throws me off with the legs. I don't know what's happening there, or if they'll straighten those out, but that's just what they chose to ride with, I guess.
On June 5th, 2024, Digit became the first humanoid robot in history to be deployed into commercial operations. This milestone happened at a GXO facility near Atlanta.
We've done a lot of proofs of concepts. We've shown our robot doing customer use cases. We've shown them live at conferences. We've shown them on customer sites for weeks at a time. But for the first time in history, not just for Agility, but ever, the humanoid robot was deployed in a permanent long-term contract to do a task. That's a new era.
GXO has put Digit to work, starting with moving totes. This milestone marks the beginning of an industry-first, multi-year agreement to deploy humanoid robots.
We have robots that are on the way towards being general purpose. They aren't single-purpose robot arms. They aren't mobile robots on the ground.
So like they said, Digit is more meant for specific warehouse use with boxes and such. It's not, well, they seem to want to generalize it more in the future, but from what I'm seeing, they have these clamper arms that wouldn't be able to pick much up, right? Other than a box or anything rectangular that has sides, it could pick up, but that's kind of it. So I think they do have to generalize it more, and really, because they sort of lean one way into making it a more generalized where it has legs and can do a lot, but then they sort of lean away from it where they have these clamper arms and unorthodox legs that make it unable to do whatever like a Tesla Optimus could do, right? So that's what I see holding it back. They really need to generalize more. I'll say that.
Where you design your environment around them. They are humanoid robots that can go into spaces that were designed around us, doing workflows that were designed around us, but in roles where it's very, very hard to hire. You can talk about all the technology that you want, all of the AI that you want. You can argue about which one's a better approach. Ultimately, where the rubber hits the road is, have you deployed the robot for somebody who's willing to pay money for it because it's doing useful work? That's the metric. It's the only one that matters.
Digit and GXO are shaping the future of logistics, implementing innovative solutions to real-world problems. As a leader in the field,
As you can see, it has a really good design. I like the head, I like the body, I like the arms, and really from facing forward, if you're not looking at the hands or the legs, I think it's a borderline perfect design. But once you sort of take notice of that, those are some small flaws that would probably cause major issues if you were looking for a general purpose task, like picking anything small up. I'm sure this would really struggle with.
agility is defining the path to general purpose robots, and June 5th marks one of the most significant points to date, the day humanoid robots went to work.
All right. For design, I'll start with what they do well, because I already talked about what I thought they should improve, so I don't think I need to talk about the legs or the hands anymore. They do the head, body, and really the way it looks. If it's trying to be a warehouse robot, it looks really well for that. So overall for design, I'm not going to hit them too hard for the legs because they do so well with everything else that I think it sort of evens out. So I'll give them a 7.1 out of 10 for design. For use cases though, only having pinchers, I mean maybe the longer legs would give it more use cases if it can reach up higher, but with only pinchers and not like something that could pick up anything, it really limits what it could do. So for use cases, I'm gonna have to give it a 6.1 out of 10. For security, Agility Robotics is already battle testing it, and by battle testing it, I mean in a warehouse. So I'm sure they've really done everything they can to make sure it's secure, and they don't have an open system, right? So Agility, they really sort of centralize it and test it themselves. They don't give it out to other people that much that I've seen for them to sort of tamper with it and such, like Unitree does. And I mean, it works for Unitree because you get the good and the bad, right? Like people will hack it, but people will add their own good things to it too. So for Agility, they have their own controlled environments they're testing in. So it's hard to think that they have thought about security that much. But it's also hard to believe that they haven't, and they haven't had any security issues so far. So for security, we'll give them a 10 out of 10, right? If you have no issues with security, then you have no problem from me, right? So overall, I'll be giving Agility Robotics Digit a 6.6 out of 10. And I think that's a fair rating. They do a lot of things right, and there's just a few small things that really bring it down. And they're really small, like the hands. If they get the hands generalized, that shoots them up so much in the rankings for how competing against all these other robots, right? Because that's really the only thing holding it back. Like, yeah, the big legs are unorthodox, or the weird ostrich legs are unorthodox, but they don't hold it back like those clampers do. So they need to get those hands more generalized and looking like this, right? Like this hand. So that's all I have to say for them. And yeah, that's the review.